In this video, we're going to be checking out this USB condenser microphone from Comica. It's called the STA-U1. Comica did send this mic to me for purposes of making a video, but they don't get any input into the video that I make. I agreed to take a look at this microphone, not because I thought it was going to be anything spectacular, but just because I thought it was a unique looking microphone. You'll be listening to the microphone throughout this video. Obviously, I'm using it to record the audio, and you can just evaluate how you think it sounds. At the end, I guess I'll maybe give you just kind of my 2 cents on how I think it sounds and how it maybe compares to some different options out there. I will not be doing any post-processing during this video. The only thing I'll do is just raise the levels a little bit so that they're more palatable to YouTube, but no post-processing, no EQ, no compression, nothing like that. Check the chapter markers if you want to jump around to particular parts of this video. I'm not going to get into any really crazy in-depth testing, but I am going to compare it against just about every other microphone that I own, so that will be pretty epic, so stay tuned for that. As I said before, this is a USB microphone, so this connects right into your device. I'm running mine into my MacBook Pro here. According to Comica, I mean, you can plug this into smartphones and tablets. If you want to plug it into an iPhone or something, you are going to need to get a USB-C to Lightning adapter. In the box, it comes with this long USB-C to USB-C cable, but it also has a little built-in adapter that'll take it to a Type-C. It does come with a pretty nice yoke, which allows you to rotate the microphone like all the way around inside. On the bottom of the yoke is a 3/8 inch thread, and we're going to get to like pros and cons and stuff, but right off the bat, it's pretty standard for microphones to have a 5/8 inch thread and usually an adapter to take it down to 3/8. But this is only a 3/8 inch thread. The reason that's a problem, the stand that it comes with is just this little base here. And then that's obviously going to screw right into the bottom of the microphone. And that's going to sit on your desk, and the microphone's going to be like way down here, which isn't ideal unless you want to lean down into the microphone or you want to prop it up on a bunch of books or some other stackable thing. Like, it's never good to have your microphone too far away from your mouth. It's just not a great stand. And the fact that it only has a 3/8 inch thread means you're going to be limited to what kind of stands or boom arms you can use. Now, most boom arms do have a 3/8 inch thread built in. A lot of the stands will have a 5/8 inch thread. That would be my major criticism of this in terms of its like physical design. Anyway, just to get that out of the way, that's really all it comes with. There's a manual and some other, like, there's stickers and stuff in there, but I'm only showing you this microphone for this use case for spoken word. So that's, you know, recording videos like this, talking to camera. You could use this for podcasting, those kinds of things, or voiceovers. But obviously, if you want to record instruments and things like that, you can do that with this microphone. But I'm not going to get into like all the specifications about how loud it can get and how loud of a source it can handle. The price point of this, I think, is around $60, $65, $70. It has really nice features, I guess, built into the microphone. So you have this really big gain knob on the front. There is an RGB light indicator. It has like a live metering function. It's like blue if you're kind of quiet, and then green would be sort of the safe zone, and then orange means you're getting loud, and then red means you're peaking. And you can see all that indicated kind of as you're speaking into the microphone or as you're recording any audio source into it. And then on the back of the microphone, obviously you have the USB-C connector, and it's really sturdy. It's hard to actually pull it out, so that's nice. And then on next to that, you can see I have my headphones plugged directly in, so you can monitor live, so zero latency monitoring. You can use this as an audio source, so if you're watching a video or something on your computer, you can listen to it through here. It'll show up as an audio source in your computer, and then the gain knob will then be the headphone knob for that, so you can adjust the volume. It also has, I was initially kind of put off by the build quality. It seems really cheap. I think only because it's really light. Sometimes I guess like heaviness maybe gives a false appearance or false sense of something being higher quality. This is made of metal, but it feels like it's plastic just because it's so thin and light. I guess take that for what it's worth. It's really not worth much. There's supposedly a built-in pop screen or pop filter in here to help with plosives. As I've been listening to it, it seems pretty reasonable. If you're pretty careful with how you address microphones, you probably won't have too big an issue with plosives. But if you're not careful and you get close and you talk right into the front, Peter Piper prefers the pod mic for podcasts. You're obviously going to get some plosives, but pretty much any mic will do that. So let me go ahead and take it off of this boom arm and put it on the desk stand, and we'll just compare how it might sound in that case. Check, check. Check, check. 1, 2. So yeah, it's you're probably going to hear quite a bit different sound quality here. Let me See how loud we're getting. Might need to turn it up. So if you're new to recording audio, just a quick tip. The closer that you can get the microphone to the source of the audio, in this case would be my voice, the better that it's going to sound. So you don't necessarily want to get it right up on your mouth. That's why the bass is not good. It'll work in a pinch, obviously. And if you didn't have a boom arm or any other stand that you could put this on, then I would definitely recommend getting some books or something so that you could get this up much higher and then therefore closer to you. So here we are on the Comica STA-U1. We're going to be doing a major mic roundup, a gigantic roundup of all the microphones that I have. Maybe not all, but most. So buckle in for that. Check the chapter markers if you want to skip around to particular microphones. This is the Shure MV7X. This is the XLR version, the MV7X, and not the XLR and USB version of the MV7. This is what it sounds like. No mic booster, no cloud lifter, nothing like that. Straight into the Rodecaster Pro and no audio processing. Now that you've been listening to the MV7, I am back on the Comica so you can get a direct comparison between this and the MV7. Now let's get on to the next mic. This is the Shure Sm7b. This is a $400 broadcast dynamic microphone. This is what it sounds like in comparison to the Comica STA-U1. This has some switches to change the frequency response of the microphone, but they are not activated. It's just in its flat response mode. This is what the Comica sounds like in comparison to the Sm7b. So let's get on to the next one. Now we're on the PreSonus PD70, another broadcast dynamic mic. Once again, running into the Rodecaster, no mic boosting, no mic activating, no cloud lifting. This is what it sounds like in comparison to the Comica STA-U1. How did you like the PreSonus PD70 in comparison to the Comica? Now that you have that comparison in your brain, let's move on to the Rode Pod Mic. This is a $100-ish broadcast dynamic microphone, and this is what this sounds like in comparison to the Comica STA-U1. Once again, Rode Pod Mic, broadcast dynamic microphone, XLR only. This is what it sounds like. What about the Rode Pod Mic in comparison to the Comica? What'd you think? I feel like it's kind of grown on me. I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. It just felt really light and therefore kind of plasticky. My biggest complaint about it is just the stand. It's not out of the normal. I know that Rode makes a similar microphone to this that has a little wimpy stand like this as well. You're much better suited putting it on some sort of boom arm or other mic stand. As noted, it's unfortunate that there's no 5/8" thread for this microphone. I'm sure there's probably an adapter that you could buy relatively cheaply if you did have a tabletop mic stand that you already own. As for the sound quality, I'm actually pretty impressed with this. I think it sounds better than I anticipated. Very clear, very articulate, very detailed sound. It doesn't seem to boost anything. It seems to be pretty neutral.